Good morning, good morning. Welcome to Brothers Monday, where every stitch counts. And so what we're going to be working on today, we're going to be working on the Avenir EV1. And so with that being said, I hope there's something that you learn, something that you can take back and share with someone else, and something that you can put in your projects as well. So if you see any of that happening this morning, if you would, make sure you share, you like, you subscribe, and don't forget to comment. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing that we see here is on our main screen, and let me bring it up a little bit closer. Here we go. And on the main screen here, it has sew. So we can go ahead and touch sew. And I hope you can see this, and I might have to come through and bring the camera up a little bit closer so that you can see the different icons on the screen here. So let's try and do that. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to start this time at the sewing end, because there's some beautiful, beautiful stitches that I like to share with you. So we're going to go ahead and get started with this, and let's see the different type of stitches that we have. Now this is the main screen here for sewing. Okay, so let me go through and explain some of these icons on here for you. And some of you all probably know all about this sewing technique other than myself. So on this side here, that's your thread change color. So if you want to change the colors of your thread right here, I can use my finger, but I can press that. You can change the colors, and you can see the colors change here. Okay, so you can change your colors there. So I just changed the color to orange, gold, a gold looking color. I thought it was orange. And the foot that I will use for many of these stitches, because it will show you and tell you which foot that you can use, whatever stitch that you're working on. So this is the J foot, and so that's the foot that you should have on your sewing machine at that time. Okay, so that is the J foot there. So the next thing is, this is your image. It shows you exactly in the window the thread color or the stitch that you're going to be using right there. That is your image screen. So let's go back. I'll go back here. Oh, there we go. Okay, so here we go. This is your image. This is your image here. And number 3 is your projector. So if you want to project anything onto the bed of your sewing machine, then you can. Let's press it and see what happens. So the projector is coming on. So once the projector is on, there it is, it will project right onto your fabric. So in order to take the projector off, let's go up a little bit closer here, since we're not showing me and I'm trying to give you all the information. So let's go here. I'm trying to get rid of that light that I've got over top, but it's really difficult. So I'm going to just press here and take the projector off. And the next one is our guideline marks. This one here, that's your guideline marks there. And so if you notice in that guideline mark, it brings over different, a completely different menu. That you can change the different shapes if you want this in a circle, or if you want it in a straight line, or if you want it in a plus at the top. So I'm gonna just go with the straight line. Okay, then you have your line length, your colors, your positions, and all of that. So I'm not gonna go over that just yet, but I just probably will name out some things for you. So let's close that window out, and anytime you want to close your window out, here is your close at the bottom. So we're closing that out. So now we're back to our main menu. So let's finish up here. So we went over the guideline marker, and the next one is your stitch pattern. This is your stitch patterns here. You click your stitch pattern line and it'll show different icons that you can use. So let's go over the stitch patterns really quickly. So you see this particular icon here? This one is for your free motion quilting. Okay? The next one, that is your back to the beginning. The next one here is single and repeat sewing. So you can put it on the 3 one, or you can have one for, you see how it changes over on this side? And then on this next particular one, you have mirror image. So you can mirror image any stitch that you might have. The next one is the needle, your needle mode selection. You can have a single or double. So right now we're doing what? If we had a double, then we have the double needle on. But right now we're doing the single. So let's go to our next one. And it's not lit up right now because we're not in that particular stitch area. But if we were in those stitches for the buttonholes or the slit length, that would show up. Number 12, I call it number 12 here. This one is your end point. And the next one is your tapered off stitches that you could definitely use. Down at the bottom is retrieve, that if you want to retrieve something that you saved, or you want to put it in memory, and we're talking about your stitches. Let me back up a little bit so you can see. There it is. So you've got your memory, and then you've got your reset. Down here at the bottom, you've got your attention. I never mess with my thread tension unless you just absolutely have to. The next one is how you want your needle to sit. Do you want it to be the left? Do you want it to be over at the right? This next one at the bottom is your length. So you can change the length of your stitches and then your width of your stitches as well. Now, this particular icon is called the automatic reinforced stitch. So you know how you're stitching something and you want it reinforced, so because it'll go over that continuously. Here it is right here at the top too. Okay, so you can make sure that that button is pressed and on. And we all know this one is automatic thread cutting. And then how do you want your stitches to do you want your presser foot to be up or to go down? That's what that one is, okay? Your needle stop position. What needle stop position do you want it in? Okay? And then the next one is, do you want it to pivot? So because if you want it to pivot, what will happen is the needle will go down into the fabric, and then you can pivot and turn the fabric like you want to. Let's just take a brief look at some of these stitches here, because you've got so many, and I can almost guarantee you won't use each and every one of these stitches, but it makes you want to even try to use some of the stitches. So, and as you press your stitches, then what happens, you can hear your foot move over at your presser foot. These are your overcast stitches here. This is your hem stitching. And every time you press a different stitch, it gives you the name of it at the very top. And then it'll show you too exactly how it will stitch out. So that is really good to see, because now you know what your stitches look like in two different places before you even stitch those. Let's go. Let's go back. Let's go to our decorative stitches. Well, I take that back. Let's go back to the utility stitches because I saw something in there that I like. So number 4 is, and these are all by categories too. And these are some of your straight stitches. So now we want to look at these stitches here. And these are what you call your slit stitches. And so you can see what those look like as well. Okay. So let's go to the ones that we really like, which is the character decorative stitch. Okay, so now we're over to the character decorative stitches. And I'm going to definitely use this. I'm putting together or working on my jean jacket. And I'm going to definitely use some of these stitches for that. And these are really, really nice to use. So I'm just going to gradually go on some. And this is what the decorative stitches look like here. You know, you got the cute stitches. You got some with words on there. You can sew that around your sleeves if you like. You got the flower over here with the bugs or the beetles. You got one, the flower with the little doggy on there. And then you can make these larger too if you like to. So whenever you decide what stitch you want, you can make these stitches larger. Let's keep going. Let's see what else we've got over here. So you've got all different types of stitches that you can definitely use. And you even got Disney stitches because they have D for Disney right here. So those are your Disney stitches. So if you want to print out your Disney stitches, and then you can make these smaller or larger on this particular one. Okay, so what you want to do here, let's pick out other Disney stitches that you can choose. And then you can also make these repeat stitches as well. So these are the different ones here. So you can really do a lot. With this particular stitch, since you're going to need a larger opening on your stitch and on your needle when you're sewing, right at the top, I should have brought out the actual foot that you're going to be using. On this particular one, you'll use an end plus foot, okay? So on the end plus foot, what you'll end up doing is changing out the J foot, because you remember I told you you use different feet on there. And let me see if I can pull that one out for you to show it, just to show it to you just real briefly. Okay, so I had to pull out my little box. And this is the case, your box that came with your Avenir right here. So I'm going to open it up and take out, I'm going to go ahead and take out my end plus foot so I can show you what I'm talking about. So this is really nice. I love this case because everything's got a home, right? And this is over in the end plus foot section right there. What did I do with it? Oh, there it is. Okay. Close up here, you'll see it says end plus, and you can see how wide that opening is. So when you're making all those pretty decorative stitches there, sorry about that. When you're making those pretty wide decorative stitches, your needle will be able to pass in that area. Okay, so let's see what else you got here. You got Mickey Mouse, you got the heart, so you got all these different stitches here that you can use. So you can change the length of your stitches down here at the bottom. Let me go here. Let me see. You can slide it over this way. You can change the width. And there we go right there. So if you want it slid over a certain way, and then it has down here exactly the length of those stitches. So you can change the length of your stitches. And you can change the width of your stitches. How wide do you want it? And it only go up to a certain point, okay? So let's go back over here. You can add on different stitches onto another stitch. So like at the very end, I press this button, so it added that stitch at the end. So it can do all kinds of things. It's so much in here. Sometimes you just have to get on here and play with it and see what you get. So like I said, you would never use all of these stitches. You just think that you will, but you won't. But anyways, it's worth taking a look at and take a look and see what you have. Okay, on this other end, then you just have stitches with letters on here. So then you can type out a name. Like if you want to type out your grandchildren's name, you can go ahead and do that as well, because it has all the different letters on here. And so as I type, I'm just pressing some. You can see the letters come at the end. Okay, so you can do different things with this. And then they've got the different letter types too. So you can change the different font types. And you got your lowercase, you got your numbers, and you got your symbols with this. So you've got different things that you would like to see. See, these different letters are different. There you go. So you can make all kinds of designs on your jackets, your pant legs, your children's clothing, anything that you can think of that you would like to make that design on. And also your pocket, wherever you want to save it. I'm just going to click on my pocket here. And then I can tell it where I want to save it to. Like if I want to save it on my sewing machine, I can save it on my sewing machine, but I'm not going to do that because I don't want to save it because it's just a lot of different stuff there. So let's go ahead and cancel that one out. And what we're going to do now, we don't want to keep that. I just want to go over that with you and show it to you just briefly. So let's go to embroidery, because we always like embroidery, right? So we've gone over some utility stitches here. We've gone over, we're going over your embroidery next. Let's see what we have here. And we sort of covered a little bit of these last time, but I want to just go over some different things to show you in this particular area here. So I'm going to just go to one category. And do I want to go to an applique? Yeah, I go to applique this time, if I can press it. So let's say that I want to do an applique, but I wanted to make several of those appliques. So I'm going to go ahead and tell it to set my applique for me. And on this particular applique here, it shows you this is the applique that I want, because it shows you the picture of the applique. But let's say that I wanted to resize that applique. So I can go right in here, Mr. Alligator, and I'm going to resize him. So let's say that I want to make him larger. And that's as large as he goes. He will only go 6 inches plus larger. Okay? So I've got him where I want him, the size that I want him. So I can just go back and say, okay. So, okay, that's what I wanted. But I decided that I want to make several of those because I'm using a really, really large hoop, right? So if I want to go ahead and make several of those, so let's say that I want to make several of those at one time. Ugh, that's a mouthful. So I want to do several of those at the same time. So I can go and say that I want, let's see here. Go down to my plus and minus. I got a plus at the top and minus here. So if I want to go horizontally, then I can. It's telling me that that's going outside of my frame. So let's go back and make him a little bit smaller. So I'm gonna bring him back to his reset size. So this button would be my reset button. So let's go back to my edit. So I want to go and make him, and let's go in and change my hoop size because that makes a difference. So let's go in and change our hoop size or our frame. So I'm gonna go to the largest one that we have on the Avenir, which is the 11 5/8. So I'm gonna change it to that and tell it okay. So now it's changed my entire hoop size. So now I'm gonna tell Buddy Alligator, guess what, Buddy Alligator? I want to make several of you because I don't want to continuously re-hooping. So I'm gonna tell Buddy Alligator that I want to make this in a row plus, and there go Buddy Alligator right there. Okay, so let's see if I can add any more. It's not gonna let me add any more because Buddy Alligator is filled up to the capacity that I can take him to right now. And so I can maybe add some more on the side. Nope, you won't let me add any more on the side. But I've got 2 in Buddy Alligator. Okay, so that's good. So let's say that, okay, I decided that I want to stitch Buddy Alligator out. Let's go back and let's say that I want to make. Let's say that I want to make Buddy Alligator into an applique patch. So I can do a field patch or I can do just a regular patch. I do a regular patch. And there's Buddy Alligator right here as a regular patch. I can change the distance of Buddy Alligator. Okay. And there he is right there. So let's add a different design. So let's go back through and edit this one out. Well, let me tell you, I'm tired of Buddy Alligator, so I'm going to get rid of him. Okay, so let's go and choose another one. Oh, that's a large one. I want one that large. Let's go back here and choose. Let's see what animals that we have. These are huge. Oh, they're so cute. Let's see what decorations. Seasonal. Okay. Oh, that's a tiny one. That's only 1 and almost 1 or 2 inches. So we're going to go ahead and go with that one. And so we're all getting ready for Christmas time, right? Or soon we'll be getting ready for Christmas time. So let's see what we're going to do for this one. Okay, here. Okay, so let's say that we have this one on here. Then it's telling us what colors that we can choose or what colors that they sort of recommend. But, you know, it really doesn't matter because you can put in your own colors that you like. Okay, so what we're going to do, let's say that we want to see what it looks like in the hoop. And that is a huge hoop, right? So if I change my hoop size, let's say since that one is so small, I'm going to go all the way down to the smallest hoop that we have. And let's see. Oops. Oh, I forgot it over there. Sorry. Got the camera. Okay, so let's go back to it. Hoop size at the top. There's a small hoop size because I added that one on there. This is the next one. That looks like the 5x7. And that's a really large hoop. So let's say that we want to see this one and how it prints out. We can go ahead and tell it to play. And you can actually see it prints out here. And we can adjust and say how fast we want it to print out. Or how slow we want it to print out. Pretty nifty, right? So let's close this one out. And then let's go back to it because now we want to edit it. And this time we said that we want to make this into a, let's say that we want to make this into a patch or put a lot on the screen. Because let's say that we are printed a lot of these out, but we also want to make it into a patch. So let's say that we want this in a regular patch, and there's our patch. So let's say that we want the distance at 2. Or maybe a little bit closer. Okay, that's what we want. So this is going to be the patches that we're going to make. So we can go ahead and tell Avenir, or Sweetie D is the name of my machine here. You can go through here. Now we can go through and tell Sweetie D. Let me make sure I've got my hoop size changed. Oh, I got on the smallest hoop. So let's take it to the largest hoop. We're taking it to the largest hoop because I'm going to be printing out a lot of these, lots of those, okay? So what we want to do, patches. So what we want to do right here is go ahead and tell Sweetie D that I want so many patches in that for you to automatically produce for me, okay? So we can, Sweetie D can go ahead and do at least 3 patches across there, probably a whole lot more. And then we can also tell it, let's see, we want them to go down. Let's see how many we want to go down. There we go. So Sweetie D just brought on some more patches right here, and there they are over there. So let's see if we want some on this side. Sweetie D put patches on that side. So there are the patches that we have right there. Now, if we feel like these patches are too close together, let's see if we can spread them out some. And that may be as far as we can go because we've got all these on here. Let's see. Or if we want to close them in, we can close them in. If we want to spread them out, we can spread them out. That is as far as we go. That it's going to let us go there. So that's good. So let's say, let's go back and edit these. Let's go back and reset. I reset it all the way back to the one on Sweetie D. Okay? So on these patches. So let's say that this is the patch that we want, but we've got that huge screen. And so oops. Oh, got my thing here. My plus symbol. I kept looking for my plus symbol. Oh, it said that I was outside of my frame. Okay. I see you. I'm not outside of my frame now. Okay. So let's say we want to add some more in here. And let's say that we want to add like this. Until Sweetie, this is what we want. There we go again. And so now I only left 3 rows there because now I want to spread them out. So you can see how far you can spread them out. And I might have some room to add some more going down. No, he said that I was outside of my hoop area. So you see how you can make several different patches and you won't have to worry about rehooping them over and over and over and over again. So that's pretty nifty. I like that. So let's go ahead and edit this out. But before we edit out, I'm going to show it to you how it's going to look in my hoop. Oh, you want me to attach the embroidery frame so I can show that. Let's see how it looks in the hoop. There, this is how it's going to look in my hoop. And you would think that I had some more room here. So let me see. No, it says still outside of my frame. Let me go down here and change it here. Ah, it lets me cut my knife there. Oh, that is so neat. See, it does all this stuff. You don't even know. This machine does so much and you don't even realize what all it does. Okay, so if I want to use some stippling, but I wouldn't because these are definitely going to be what? These will actually be patches, so you wouldn't do that. So here we created our patches. That is good. So we can go ahead and tell it embroidery, or we can go back in here. And if we go go to our edit screen here. It shows us how it's going to print out. Our design is going to print out, then the patch is going to print out. Our design is going to print out, then our patch is going to print out. So you don't ever have to worry about rehooping on that at all. Okay, let's see here what we have. Next, let's go ahead and exit out of this one. And we can tell it that we don't want it anymore. So I can click on my trash can and tell it okay. It's going to have to cancel out all those by themselves. Let's see if I can gather them all. Okay, there we go. Trash can. And be gone. There, they're gone. So let's take a quick look at Disney. Because everybody loves Disney. Now remember, before I think I told you that Disney does not allow you to resize. So whatever size you get is what you get. Because they don't let you resize their designs. But if you want a really big Disney design, here's your big Disney design right here. That is a 15 by 10. That is a huge design, and that will cover up your entire front of your shirt. If you're and your family going on vacation, y'all going to Disney World, make sure you go ahead and embroidery out a design. Or you could take that design and put it on fabric, then make a patch out of it and iron it to their shirts that way. But this particular design will take you 91 minutes to stitch out, 7 different colors and 9 different color changes. Okay, so our time is almost up. I hope it's something here that you learned today. So if you would, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe, and definitely comment in the comment areas and let me know exactly what you're interested in or some of the other things that you want to see me demonstrate. I would greatly appreciate it. And you all keep on stitching, and thank you so much for tuning in to Brother Monday. Have a great day, and I'll see you on Tuesday, but I definitely will see you on Wednesday, because the next thing that we got coming up is Wednesday, which is Project Day, and Friday is Product Review Day, and then Saturday is Stitch and Chat Live. Have a great day. See you then. Bye.